You're busy and you have a real life, which is why I created this video addressing what the top alcohols to drink, if you must drink, when you're trying to lose body fat and get in the best possible shape of your life. See, it's not always feasible to live life like a fitness model. It's not feasible to live like a bodybuilder all the time, especially if you've got a real career and a real family that you have to manage. So over the next couple of weeks, I'm gonna be doing a few videos that are gonna teach busy people how to get in the best possible shape of their life without having to completely sacrifice things that they know and love. So before I dive into what the top 3 alcohols are, I wanna explain how alcohol is metabolized within your body. So when you take a sip of alcohol, your body converts that alcohol into something called acetaldehyde. Now that acetaldehyde is extremely toxic. So the liver does its job and it prioritizes the metabolism of it. What that means is that everything else in your body sort of goes on the back burner so that the liver can do its job. Now, what this means in terms of fat accumulation, food that you have eaten, food that's in your digestive system, food that's in your stomach, ends up taking a back seat as well, which means that it's easier for it to sit around and get stored as body fat because the body is so busy processing alcohol. So ultimately, it's not really the alcohol that makes you fat, it's the fact that your body is prioritizing metabolism of alcohol. That's what can make it easy to gain fat. So the way that you can combat this is by finding an alcohol that is easier to digest, one that is more pure, and I'm gonna get to that in a minute. But of the purer the alcohol, the easier that it is on the liver. The liver doesn't really have to process it as hard. Now, the other thing that you can do is stick to one kind of alcohol. If you stick to one kind of alcohol, then the liver doesn't have to tap into different enzymatic properties to break down different alcohols. It just has to focus on one and it can expedite the process, get it done so that your body can focus on metabolizing food again. Now, another thing that happens when you drink alcohol is you get what's called a glutamine rebound. And I'm gonna explain this really briefly, but glutamine is an energy source for your brain. Now, when you drink alcohol, you deplete your glutamine stores, which means you're depleting some of the energy stores for your brain. So what happens when you stop drinking is you have what's called a glutamine rebound, which means that the glutamine that was depleted is now rebounding up high, giving your brain a lot of energy. Now, what's crazy is that your brain has a lot of energy, but your body will be tired. So you'll feel like you're sleepy, but your brain is still wide awake. So that means when you get up in the morning, even though your body is rested, your brain is not. That's why you feel so sluggish, and that's a lot of the reasoning behind why a hangover happens. It's just your brain being flat out fatigued. Now, this directly correlates with your fat loss because why would you want to go to the gym? Why would you want to eat clean when you're that groggy and your brain isn't recovered in the morning? You just have a hard time finding the motivation. So if you drink a little bit of glutamine powder or take some glutamine capsules while you're drinking, it can help this effect because it's gonna stop the reduction of glutamine while you're drinking and it's gonna keep things a little bit more balanced so you don't have that crash and rebound. Now, the other thing you wanna look out for with your alcohol are congeners. Congeners are additives to alcohol that either help in the fermentation process or they are additives or flavors of some kind. For example, things like bourbon, they're dark. They have a lot of additives, they have a lot of congeners in them. Those will generally give you a more severe hangover. They're also going to tax the liver more, which means that you're not able to digest and break down your nutrients as well. So avoiding liquors that have congeners would be one of the best options that you can have. In 1970, there was a study by a doctor by the name of Dr. Chapman that took 2 groups of people. One group of people he gave bourbon whiskey to. Another group of people he gave distilled vodka to. And he measured the hangover results. The next day, 33% of those that drank the bourbon whiskey reported hangovers. Only 3% of those that drank the vodka reported a hangover. So now let's get into what you really wanted to hear. What alcohols should you drink? So the number 1 alcohol that you should drink is definitely going to be distilled vodka. And you want to get it as much distilled as possible. So triple distilled, quadruple distilled, whatever you can, get it with as much distillation as possible. You see, when it goes through a distillation process, it cleans out a lot of the congeners, but it also cleans up the alcohol so it has less acetaldehyde when it actually hits your body. Therefore, the liver can process it a lot easier. Now, another alcohol that I would recommend would be a gin and tonic. Now, gin is another one of those that's distilled that's usually a lot easier for your body to process. And when it's mixed with the tonic water, it just dilutes it that much more, so it makes it a lot easier for your body to process. It's not such a quick hit to the liver. Now, the last alcohol that I recommend you drink, and this is for the winos, is gonna be a white wine. Because if you drink red wine's got histamines in it that are gonna give you that reaction. They're gonna cause an inflammatory reaction, which is literally gonna slow down your muscle gains. It's also going to slow down your fat loss, but most importantly, it is going to give you a hangover. Those histamines within red wine are what give you that wine headache. So if you have to opt for wine, opt for white wine. Now, the last tip that I wanna give you before I leave is what to eat before you go out to drink. Okay, a lot of people will tell you you want to eat something big, heavy, and starchy so that it soaks up the alcohol. And it's not really that true. You actually want to eat something that's easy to digest for the reasons that I stated before. You see, remember, your liver is going to be busy working on digesting alcohol. So you want to make sure that your body has something that's easy to assimilate. So I usually recommend something like some organic rice cakes, something that the body can process really quick. If you're gonna eat some protein, try to do it in the way of a protein shake, or try to do it in the way of some fish that's easy for the body to process. If you eat a big steak or something like that, your body's gotta work hard on digesting that. It's got a lot of enzymatic processes that have to occur. So as soon as you start drinking, that's gonna all get diverted over to the liver. So we wanna make sure that whatever you're eating is easy to digest. So in the next couple of weeks, I'm gonna bring you a couple more videos on these similar topics, and I'm also gonna be giving away my restaurant cheat sheets. It's gonna show you what you can eat at a restaurant when you're going out to eat and you still wanna stay on track. So be sure to keep it locked in here on my videos here on Six Pack Shortcuts, and I will see you very soon. Thanks for watching.